So we have a couple guests in the house. Jack Thorley-Doucette.
Yeah.
Zoie Aguillon, Christina Robinson, and Kevin Thorley. Welcome today. Jack and Zoe are going to be our speakers for today. And so we're going to have an inspiration. So couple quick announcements. One, I wanted to just advise that Marty has been having surgery. Maybe Barb, since she's on, maybe she'll
Barb
give
is
us an
on.
update.
Barb is on.
Morning, Barb.
Hello. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All set, Barb.
I want to thank everybody for your good thoughts and everything. Marty's doing okay. He was a little exhausted yesterday and a little irritable because he didn't get much sleep. So, but he says hello to everyone and he thanks everyone.
Send him our best.
Yep.
Will do.
Send him our best, Barb.
Send him our best, Barb.
Will do.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody. We, as we all know, currently baseball. So I'm prepared to give you a little rerun of something that I did about a year and a half ago for this club, and it deals with baseball. And it's a poem called "The Greatest." So picture a little boy in a baseball hat, standing in the field with his glove and bat. He boldly declares, "I am the greatest player of them all." With confidence, he puts his bat on his shoulder and tosses up his ball. Then the ball goes up 3 times. Then the ball comes down 3 times. He swings his bat. But alas, fate has a twist in store for this little boy's dreams. It has much more. He strikes himself out. And the ball slips away, but he doesn't falter, nor does he sway. Instead of feeling down, he grins with glee, realizing he's a pretty good pitcher, you see. He struck out the greatest hitter himself. A lesson learned, a shift in perspective, newfound wealth. Perhaps life isn't about hitting every ball out of the park. Sometimes it's about adjusting our eyes and slowly find our spark. So that little boy became a legend on the mound. He didn't quit, he adapted. He grew, and in striking himself out. Greatness he knew. And as the sun sets on the baseball field, he stands tall, knowing that resilience is the ultimate shield. For even when life throws curveballs our way, we can still be the greatest, no matter what they say.
Morning, I'm very happy to welcome the students that we sent to RYLA this year. We have Zoe. She's a rising junior at CCU and she was from Williston. She's always been interested in becoming more involved in the community and helping others. RYLA taught her a lot and definitely strengthened her leadership skills, and she's glad that she got to experience such a wonderful event and is able to share what she learned. She hopes to inspire others to take part in building positive change within our community and to help extend that impact to other parts of the world. Jack here today. Jack is a motivated and driven 16-year-old that lives in Williston. He enjoys pursuing athletics such as alpine skiing and mountain biking, and one of his favorite ways to serve is through his job at Catamounts Mountain Biking Summer Camps, where he works closely with all ages and abilities. So I think maybe both of you will come up together. I know Zoe has to leave a little early, so it would be great, but I'm sure you have some common things to talk about also. So welcome, Zoe and Zach. Something.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm a rising junior at CVU. Okay. So, personally had the chance to attend RYLA, which is a leadership program that brings together many students and allows them to grow, connect, and make a difference. Today, I wanted to share a bit about what we did, what I learned, and how it left an impact on me and others. So during that, we participated in a lot of team building activities. At first, they seemed pretty basic, like group challenges, for example, building bridges out of newspaper together. But as we went on, I realized how much they actually helped us grow. They taught us how to communicate better, listen to each other, and step up as leaders needed. Simple activities pushed us to think, collaborate, and adapt, which are all huge parts of being a leader. Diving deeper into collaboration, understanding each other is a crucial part. An inspiring part of the experience for me was hearing from a guy who had spent time and beliefs through his Rotary Club. He shared what it was like living there, how he interacted with the local community, and how it opened his eyes to what living outside of the U.S. is like. It reminded me that leadership isn't just about speaking up, it's also about listening and understanding different perspectives. We also got to meet a few people who had come to the U.S. and joined RYLA as a camper. Hearing their evaluation, which one of the biggest projects we did, which was packing. We packed 10,000 meals for starving families in need. We didn't know exactly where the meals went, but we know that we were helping someone somewhere who really needed it. I was just a part of the packing process, and it seemed small at first, but when I looked around and saw all of us working together, I realized how every single person played an important role. With all of us helping, we packed those meals in such a short amount of time, and it really showed us how powerful teamwork can be. Overall, RYLA was an incredible experience. It taught me that leadership isn't just about being the loudest or taking charge, helping and working with others. Even the smallest actions like packing a meal or encouraging someone on your team can make a big difference. I'm really grateful I got the chance to go, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to grow and challenge themselves.
Hit you up in presentations, but we'll just go with this. Set up. Oops.
Everybody here in the back.
No. Stand by. I had it. I had it. For heaven's sake, sorry. Sorry. Trying to get you set up. Where this went. All right. Overcomplicating things here. My bad. You guys can read my email again. All right, there you go. My bad. Yay.
All right, so as I'm sure you all heard, my name is Jack, and I'm 16, going to junior at CBF. And just want to tell you a little bit about myself. As you've already heard, I love mountain biking. I love skiing. Just got back from Oregon, did 2 weeks of ski racing out there, which is super fun, awesome experience. And like anything else outside, I love it. And I also work at Catamount up right up the road here, and I work with all ages of kids. I work from 6-year-olds to 14-year-olds, which is big range. And also all people with different like mental abilities. We've had kids with autism this year. We've had kids with abilities, and that's been awesome to help them work through challenges like that. So yeah, especially at RYLA, learning the like leadership and communication skills that it has been super, super helpful for communicating with these people. So yeah, I pushed my first point already, but at RYLA we did a bunch of activities. Like we said, we did a bridge building activity where you had to build a bridge with the materials they gave you, but you couldn't talk. So we had to figure out different ways to communicate through our group, using hand signals and stuff like that. So having those skills, while like having those skills of communication with speech, like trying to convey different meanings, has been super helpful, especially working with younger kids who might have trouble understanding, or kids who are a little older but still have some mental impairment. One of the other things we learned is how to like determine group dynamics. We did an activity where we all had to bounce the ball on a little post. We used a string, it was really cool, but slowly they would blindfold most of us. And they really went for the people who were obvious, like more vocal leaders in the group. And they blindfolded me first. So interesting because they also muted. I couldn't see and I couldn't talk, so I had the people I used. Really cool to be subject to other people's leadership and see how they use their own skills. And also that like taught me how to like take a step back and let other people lead, which was really valuable because sometimes I feel like I might take over a group and that's not a great quality to have. So yeah, that was super, super helpful. So how is going forward? My experience in RYLA was amazing. I learned a ton. I met some really, really awesome people. And some things that I already knew, I got like really reinforced and hit home hard for me. So as I already talked about, using these skills at my job has been super valuable, as I've been able to like communicate and work with kids a lot better. I know different ways to communicate with them on an emotional level as well as a just like logical level. And I plan on trying ask my boss to extend my job to work some more customer service, which is always interesting. So having skills to few situations and help use more effective communication with adults is definitely going to be helpful. Thank you all for extending me into RYLA. It was an awesome experience, and I hope that you could do that for other people. Thank you.
I'm sure there will be questions.
Yes.
So,
Anybody have any questions?
nothing but both of you.
Not so much questions, but I hope both of you will encourage your peers when you're back in school to consider RYLA for next year. It really is an amazing thing to see what you can learn, especially if you're blindfolded.
Yeah.
Like that. Sometimes, yeah, anyway, but congratulations, we're really glad.
Yeah.
Shameless plug, we also have a speech. We always need somebody to step up. All right, question, Leslie? Well, you need the mic.
I'll just.
Just so everybody knows, we've had people who have reviewed Zoom. They can't hear you unless you have the mic.
One, how did you hear about RYLA? Both of you?
My mom told me to sign up for it.
Oh, I'm friends with his mom. They recruited.
Shameless plug from Elizabeth. Yeah, my mom told me to sign up, and turns out that I didn't have to send my application in until like the week before. So I know Zoe did an interview with Elizabeth here. I didn't do that. Turns out I got it great, which is, I mean, I'm glad, really glad it worked out. Heard about from mom.
Zoe?
I got an email from my school, one of my school counselors, and they were just like, we think you'd be a good candidate to go to RYLA, and then they introduced me to Elizabeth, and then interview, and then I went.
Oh, sorry. Does anybody else have a question? Okay. I just wondered if you have some ideas on how we could recruit other students?
I'd say sending emails to schools that see you or other Richmond. I think that's no
It's like no ways that we got in. That's actually super effective because they have a really good grasp of who would be an amazing kid. Who might not be. So yeah, how are you get in touch with the schools, like learning centers, stuff like that? 'Cause that seems to be really effective. That was my question.
Thank you.
Of course.
Interact is a high school program that is part of Rotary that you at your age could become Rotarian at your high school. Should there be, and do you want to be the ones that help organize one if
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the other kids had come through an internet club, and that was new to me. I hadn't heard that before. I think it would be great to have a CVU. I don't know if I'm the right person to start it, given how much other stuff I have on the schedule. But if there was one, I would totally participate.
So it's on you. Do it.
At CVU at the club time because we'll be able to tech.
Other questions?
Stay there for a second. I have a thing for you.
Use the mic. Use the mic.
I think
Thank you.
So, first of all, thank you so much for coming to speak to us today. We'll make a donation to the Williston Central School Mentoring Program in your name as gratitude. So they give you some little things. I also have your RYLA certificates here. So it's on your wall or college dorm room. And okay.
So each you get blueberries? Oh, not a variety, but I have a ticket.
And we need one of you to pick the winning raffle ticket for today, so. And read the last three numbers. 408. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Do we have a winner?
Yeah, right here.
Gary.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Vince,
I was.
if you can turn the volume up on that, they're not hearing.
There is no volume here.
Here?
Here or here.
Okay, it's fine.
So I was remiss, I didn't give Gary, there. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna bring up Jen. You'll be on that.
It's on the thumb drive? Gotcha. Alrighty, hold on.
I don't have, am I holding this right? Can you, does it work? I don't have a whole slideshow. I have just one slide and if you it would probably say.
I've got grants given.
No.
It's
My,
why track hours?
Got it.
that's what Susan would know. She did this. Thank you, Susan, for doing these slides. That's a fun thing to put up. As you know, we started about a year ago. We started in September last year, tracking our volunteer hours, which I'm going to refer to now as service hours. And we also designed a sheet. And when I say we, I had started this, I had brought it up and then got volunteered to do it. And it's there. And so I designed a form that changed in January. Chris Burns DiBiasio has helped me a lot with it. Other people have given suggestions. And it's something that I continue to believe is very important to do. I haven't reported back to you on, and what I'm going to talk about briefly this morning is the why of we're doing this. I think Vince put in the email last week, the what, where, how, and everything. And that's what we're going to do in the future. Right now is the why. I still have some numbers from from what we've been doing. But the point of doing this and talking about it is that it hasn't quite worked. We haven't engaged the interest of everyone in this club, and we want it to be a little better so that the numbers can be used more efficiently. So this is from, that's a nice little logo that is put down there. This is not from our club. This is from Rotary International. And as it says, the reasons we track our service hours is to document the value of their volunteer work, to improve their club's effectiveness, and to show how members contribute to their communities. And that bottom one is the one that really got me going on this, because I know, and it's not that we just started tracking hours last year. We've been doing it for, when I first came into Rotary, one of the first books I saw on the sign up paper was Sally's book, and we just put it down. And so we've done it for it's not that we haven't thought about it. We've never really done a math them and figured out how many hours we're doing and what we're doing and why we're doing it. So that's why we started to do this. Another way of saying this tracking hours is it demonstrates anyone we're partnering with, they're focused as a club, we are focused, capable, responsible, and successful. And it provides potential donors and partners our service information, our contacts in the community, and it helps us when we ask for contributions and financial support. It also demonstrates that our club is deeply committed to and embedded in our town and community. And it gives us those hours at where they are spent, and it captures the impact of the breadth and scope of the activity. A few people with Susan, with Chris, with Lisa, and those are their words as much as mine. So we would like to be gathering the information in a way that gives us a more accurate picture of what we're doing. Now, I will tell you, I didn't think of this till this morning, so we wouldn't have gotten it all last week. But I have tabulated the forms we have that has been filled in, and Andy just held it up. This is where we have been filling each week. When I say we, I don't mean we, because it's not very many that are doing, and that's not on you. Anything that's wrong or hasn't worked well for what we're doing, it's on us who have designed it, and that's where we're at. We want to be doing it better. But through September through December last year, so 4 months, 21 Rotarians, that's the number of people who had filled up, provided 269.5 hours to 18 area organizations. January through June, 17 Rotarians provided 301 hours to 14 area associations. On top of that, we did calculate committee hours and event hours, but I'm not going to talk about that this morning because the main thing we want to talk about is how we're helping in the community. I know, and I think most of you around here know, these hours do not begin to capture the numbers of hours that you all are doing. It's not even close. And I'm not saying it's double. I think we could guesstimate. And one of the reasons we want these hours is we want them on this wonderful sheet that was created last year at Rotary by the numbers. You see right up at the top, 100 plus hours of service. I mean, 1,000. 1,000 plus hours for a year. I'm sure that it's probably more than that. But until we get a system to track it well, we can only guesstimate. And I'm pretty sure we'll be surprised by it. But we want to get those, we want to accumulate those hours in a way that will not be a burden on our club meeting. I want to thank Elizabeth for mentioning it many times last year to remember to sign up. I want to thank Sherry and Andy for setting up a new table to do it separately. It's still not quite working because we come in and we see each other and we forget that there's that over there. I've asked, and I've had volunteer, a few, the same 3 people, Chris and Susan and Lisa, and then Jonathan Layton, who's a new member, are going to meet with me. We are all going to meet together, probably once in September and once in October, to try to design a new form, a totally different form. Now, I'm going to ask you to continue to sign up on that form until we get a new form, partly just to get in your habit of knowing you want to know the hours we do. To be honest, we're not checking, we're not comparing, we're not going to go to you and say, oh, well, you didn't do any service hours this month. That's not for that. We all do service hours all the time. We have to just get into the habit of getting it down where we can tabulate it and then use it for the club purposes. In fact, I found that online, Sydney, Australia says that their club, there are an infinite number of possible questions about how to count service hours. This endeavor is intended to be comprehensive without being overly complicated. It's not just, and if you wonder what service hours are, use the 4-way test to decide if you will include the hours in your. Those of us who are going to meet are going to look at, and we're going to come back to you late this year, and hopefully by the beginning of next year, have a newer, friendlier form that will have a different way of how you sign up and all. I don't want to get into all the possibilities that we have talked about some, but I will say this. If any of you have any suggestions of how we should do it, or why we should or should not do it, or how you would like to see it done, just find our emails and send it to one. You can send it all in the same place. And that way, hopefully go forward with a system that really reflects the good that this club does in this community. And we do. We just know we do. And I've talked to many of you during the meetings, after the meetings, and they'll tell me that they'll mention what they're doing, the volunteer thing they're going to after this meeting or something, that haven't even showed up on these tracking sheets. So I know they weren't put down. So as I say, that's on us. It's not on, that's on me. It's not on you guys. The form is not user friendly. We want something user friendly.
We need an app.
Well,
What did she ask?
Sherry just commented that we need an app, and that's a very good point, and that's one of the reasons that I've asked Jonathan to be on the committee with us, because banks track all their hours, and I've mentioned that to a few people more familiar with the with the workings, the inner workings of the club, and have been told that we are notoriously bad about going online and doing anything. So that's not necessarily a solution, but it's going to be in the discussion.
Just comment that going on Club Runner and putting any information on Club Runner is something we're all really bad at doing.
Hold on, Sherry, you're gonna come over here and give her a little speech.
It won't be much of a speech, but in general, even I'm on Club Runner all the time, but I never think to go into my profile and update anything that I'm doing. But I think if there were an app and you had it on you all the time and you just open the app and you plug in your hours, I feel like that would be really pretty easy to do, but I don't know how to write it.
I think, yeah,
Yeah, there's an app for that, but for usability, and I can maybe make some suggestions, but for usability, it's also not everybody wants to use an app, not everybody's able to use an app, so there's no reason we can't have a hybrid solution where some people have paper and some people log in, and so it's, we can make that work, and have a good integrated system that serves everybody that, gets the maximum usage.
thank you, Cal. Maybe I will be in touch with you. And it's that kind of thing we want to learn. That's really the kind of suggestion we want from you, and what we need to know. And I will tell you, there will be some discussion about what organization or what group that you do any work for, volunteer with, who counts. And there are a million ways to look at that. And so I want anyone who's never signed up, send me an email for just where you do your work. It's more than these 18 and 17 organizations that we're in. That's not right. 18 organizations and 14 organizations. As we're doing things, I know that name never came up on these pages. So keep signing in on that sheet. We'll get some more new names of not new, but some names of organizations some of you have been working with for ages and years, really. And that will help us as we're going forward and designing something. But I think that Cal is absolutely right. And Jonathan also mentioned that same thing to me. The banks do track that. You see that the banks do all sorts of work all around their communities, try to. And they have an app, and he's going to be talking with us about that. So that's where we're going. I don't want to take all your time. I mean, I know we're all the puns, but I truly believe that this is a great fundraising tool, that great information for the people that we're asking for money. And I believe it's a great tool for our community. We are a part of this community, and we are a vital part of this community. And I have to tell you, this occurred to me just this morning. I moved here just 10 years ago. I'm very local because I've lived in South Burlington almost all my life, since I came to UVM. I didn't know there was a Rotary. I just happened to be reading, and I wasn't looking for it. It's not the Rotary's fault necessarily. I wasn't looking for. I hadn't been active in South Burlington. Rotary, then I figured out it was really wrong. So that's why I forgot. But I saw it in front page forum one night, and somebody was speaking, and I can't remember who it was. But I thought, oh, I want to hear that person, and that's how I came. The good thing about that is this is such a vital, active club that I felt more welcome here than I ever have any place, I believe, and came back. So being able to tell people what we do, plus in stature in the community.
Questions? I think this, thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
I don't dare suggest anything. I don't want to go to nothing.
To all of the experiences, it's too good to pass up. But really, and do email me because I have a new email think it's working.
Okay, so Cal, could you put the other, there's one more slide. It says QR, it's on the drive. So I am gonna talk about an app, but it's actually the club, the Rotary app. So
Is this the one? Oh, is that one? Well, what?
yeah,
What do you want? I'm not used to using PowerPoint. That's funny. I always use Google.
Okay.
There you go.
so click it now. If you don't have your smartphone,
Hang on a sec.
there's a piece of paper up front that I've been bringing every week. So when I went to Pell's, which was the president-elect leadership session, I saw this. I thought Club Writer. It's really pretty sweet. You can actually have people's names. Just scroll right down when you open it. It opens up with your password, just like you do for Club Runner. I use it a lot. I don't know if it use this to collect service hours. I don't think so because it's probably their app. But maybe there isn't for that. But this has been really helpful, especially maybe if you want to email somebody or you want to text somebody and their information is in there. I think that's all available right at your fingertips. Thanks, Cal. I'm going to bring up Walter. He has an announcement about the benches.
Let me guess, you have a slide.
Good morning. So the first part of the benches is I'm going to go around and check all of them because they were all painted last year. And we have new plaques for them, so I want to know how many have plaques on them. And how many need to also be fixed because one of them is missing and one of them near the school is broken. So I'll give you paint and so forth and who would be volunteering to do it. Because we did have a lot of volunteers last year. I'm hoping that some people will come forward and do that again. The other thing is that Rotary literacy. Last week I had 2 volunteers, Elizabeth and June said they would work with me. I would like to hold the first meeting next week, right after the meeting, for maybe 15 minutes, a half an hour. We will still be looking for a volunteer, so think it over, and if you'd like to work on it, then please, if you can, stay next week. Yes.
I'm not sure everyone knows about the benches. Could you just give like a really brief about how many there are and what will you do with them?
I think there's some that I haven't seen yet because I can't get better. But I think there's about probably 10 to 13 benches in Williston, and you also mentioned that Armin was. So I think that's how many there are, and they're pretty. Once you know where they are, it's hard not to. You'll see them every time. And some of them are marked, some of them are not. Some of them have been kept up, some of them have not. So that's kind of what. And last year we kind of got caught up on all of them at once. So that's what we're trying to do is keep them going now. Okay.
Just another comment. There is a map on our website that shows the location. Yeah.
And I have not.
Yeah.
So just so if you're curious about the bench program that Walt is now leading, there is a map on the Club Runner site that you can see. And there's been historically an adopt the bench program, and I'm not sure how you're planning to continue that.
Right. Any other?
Started to serve Centennial.
Leslie? Veterans Day.
Indeed. Good morning, everyone. So speaking of volunteer opportunities, this year, the Williston-Richmond Rotary Club will be hosting our 4th annual Veterans Day observance. I don't believe it was held in Williston prior to that.
not that I'm aware of. But anyway, I am looking for people to serve on the committee with me, to get this set. Basically, it will be on the Monday that we celebrate Veterans Day. It's usually about an hour. We're at the War Memorial Park, which is between the police station, no, the town office and the annex. So we have a few speakers. We read names of veterans, refreshments afterwards. So if anyone is interested in helping organize this, please raise your hand.
Participate. I'm not organized.
Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, so let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. I have Jason, Andrew, Chris, Jen, Armand, Howard. We have John Jacob as well.
Just to be clear on the date,
Yes.
usually Veterans Day is celebrated on Veterans Day, which is a Tuesday. You said Monday.
I did say Monday.
Just wanted to make sure.
I think we've done it on Monday, but if it's what?
I think we do it on.
And it will be on. Which will be on Tuesday. Thank you, Elizabeth. So did I get everyone who's interested in doing this? I think I did. Thank you.
So I know many of you do go to that event, and you benefit because there's usually 20 to 25 that go. If you haven't gone, it is a great event. John Jacob did the music this year, and I think added it just like when he did the music for the Get Back and Run. John, just shout out to you. That's a great job. So next person is Sherry. Craft Fair. Come on up. Come on down.
You can come up with something to say, yeah.
The option. Okay, so last year I did the craft show, the Williston Central School Craft Show, and sold my wood bowls. I just make these bowls and have to do something with them because they accumulate. It's a hobby, and they're there, and people bought them, and I donated the money free. And because it was just me, money, and we for the mentoring program, and it was $1,820. So that's really cool. So what we decided this year is Sally makes little clothes for either dogs or little people, but I think it's dogs. And Ellie makes watercolor painting. We are going to be selling those at the craft show. It's November 1st. I know Chris had said that he would do some cutting boards.
Yep.
I don't have a huge table because I didn't hear back from people soon enough to get us a bigger table. Just put out fewer bowls and just add if people buy them. So I think it'll be fun. And if it becomes a Rotary event, the money will go to the charities account as long as everyone, and I'm Sally and Ellie and Chris, we're all donating our product. So it'll go to the charities account and the club can decide how they want to spend the money. So, and then we should be able to put up a Rotary banner, since it's not just me now, it's Rotary, right? And I think that will bring in more people, like more people will buy because we're Rotary. So great advertising. So just November 1st.
Chris. This is about the brand. Brand.
Yes, good morning. I have a ramp project coming up, and I will give a date next Thursday. I'm going to need a handful of people to help do the project, probably 3 or 4 people, even if you don't have any carpentry experience here. Help. In the past, we've had a pretty good 5 or 6 people turnout. I don't know, then I can't keep you all busy. So I'll let you know in advance. It'll probably be sometime in August towards the end of the month. And it's to help out a person with a disability that lives in Williston. That's my announcement. No pun or joke. That's it.
We need a photographer for that day.
Oh, yeah. We should have ramped that up.
Yeah. Everybody has post. Everybody has iPads. So two more quick announcements. Relevant quick announcements. These came in through the website, through the email, sorry. I think we may have worked with families as partners as part of the Williston craft fair, which I think is the same one from the first. They're actually asking if any of us can do parking, the parking attendants for there. If you're willing, I'll announce it again when we get closer. But if is there anybody that would be willing to do parking? Okay, we got two. Say maybe we have a couple. If you want to come up again.
Has anyone gone to that craft show before?
Yeah.
It's insane. So I'm not sure what they're looking for parking, but I'm gonna assume it's just directing people, and if the spots fill up fast. So I'm not really entirely sure it's like a full day project, job, but traffic's backed up to Taft Corners. So it is absolutely insane. Like so many people go to this craft show. So if you do it, wear your bright colored vest. So you don't get run over.
Maybe we should do valet parking for
Charity fund. So I'm not going to valet parking.
I've been to the craft fair and she's right. It's insane. And last year I had November day I have ever had to, and I was supposed to go into a hot auditorium full of booths and I froze of going to it and coming from it. So it may be something that we could even see. I don't know if they've ever thought of having the police department or somebody with real experience, real parking experience there, because it's dangerous too. It's dangerous coming in, it's dangerous going out. So.
Thank you. Okay. My last announcement is I received an email from the Vermont Department of Children about foster care. So I think they're looking to see if anybody wants to be a foster care parent, or if they know anybody, or if you know anybody that would be a foster care parent. They're trying to place a number of children. So if you do know somebody, give me a shout.
I didn't ask Jack for an announcement, but this just came up to me last night. I think here who maybe knows something about this, but I helped with the scholarships this year, and I think Charlie will agree with me that we had 12 applicants with wonderful stories in them. Several of those high school students mentioned that they wanted to be more connected to our Rotary Club. I think Charlie might remember that. I'm just suggesting that maybe somebody in the club, and I not me, but maybe somebody in the club could go over those applications. They want more of a presence of Rotary, and I think sometimes we could ask them for some things such as painting benches that might be a good project, different, or helping with parking or something. I'm not giving the suggestions. I just think it's something we should look at. We should look at those applications again and see what they're asking for from our club.
So I will look at the applications, because I have them, and I will give them the service.
It was like whiplash there. I saw that.
So not to offend anybody here today, enough of you to waste my good jokes.
Oh. Oof.
Sorry, Gabriel. Now,
So we're looking for a new sergeant at arms.
Keep it from that. I actually don't have any jokes. Not kind of joking today. So we can start down this end. Does anybody have any money to donate? Jerry?
I have.
I find that hard to believe. Have to ball.
Thanks for reminding me.
So I have a road related